Now that I've gone through so much with the Lord and I've had so much healing, it's almost like looking back on someone else's life in a way, but I can still feel the loss and pain at times, of course. I'm Linda Radich. I was born in Riverside, California. My childhood was, I would call it 50-50. Idyllic in so many ways, but lonely. My siblings were much older, and my brother had molested me and my disabled sister when I was 5 and 6 years old. So I had kind of locked that away in my head. That really obviously affected me so deeply, but wanting to hide it because my brother seems like such a great person. I loved him. It was so confusing, and wanting to just make sure everything's okay. I felt like I was always kind of living a double life, I would say. You just carry on no matter what and put on a good front. So I held that one and was going to carry it to my deathbed. As I grew up and did well in high school, got lots of awards and scholarships, there was just something gnawing inside of me, something terribly broken and wrong, not only from being molested by my brother, but there was just a darkness, I would say. And later come to find, I really believe it was kind of a curse on our family. I just feel like I came from a long line generationally of denial. I wanted to please my parents so much. I always just thought they were so wonderful, and I just never wanted to fail them, always wanted to please them. I was very, very self-destructive in a lot of ways, because after I graduated high school and had scholarships and awards, I went to visit my sister in Reno and got pregnant at 17 years old. And my parents totally rejected me for that. And they had always just thought I was so great until that. And set up an abortion that was illegal at the time. And it was a backstreet situation. I was left alone. I was very immature emotionally. And it really was a horrific experience because it didn't work the first time. So long story short, I ended up remaining pregnant, ended up staying in an unwed mother's home that the Salvation Army ran, and gave my child up for adoption. Satan thought he had me under his thumb because I just hated myself and thought that I wasn't worth anything, because look what I had done. Later, come to find, I really believe it was kind of a curse on our family, which ended up in a lot of tragedy of the deaths of my mother and sister in a car accident. It was so deeply disturbing and tragic what happened. My other sister was at the accident scene and tried to pull them out, and the car started on fire and they burned to death. There's a whole lot more to that story of what was going on at the time, but a lot of tragedy in my family. So 4 years after that, my father had a lot of alcoholism in my family. He ended up committing suicide. And that would just rocked my world, of course. And I kind of shut down, didn't know how to handle it. I wasn't in the Lord. So I was just getting by. My mom, my sister, now my dad. And this was all within an 8-year period. So that was kind of the core family unit. I just remember feeling a lot of darkness, a lot of fear in my life, because I wasn't walking with Jesus. And it was kind of like I, again, still carried on that double life. I was getting awards as a police dispatcher at the time, loved my job, gave me purpose and meaning, because I was so searching for a life and answers to all of this. But what happened one day when I was 35 years old is I found an answer to all my search. I had tried positive thinking. I had tried New Age things. I was really searching for an answer to all this trauma in my life. And I'm just so grateful, because how can he use a wretch like me? How can he take a life so trashed and use it for his glory? It's so amazing. And I'm so blessed because I feel like all the trauma, all the tragedy, all the struggles, all the fear I've wrestled with, and he's the only real answer in this life, to know the one who made me. So I would even start to get an identity and get out of all that confusion of my life, all the trauma, all the drama, all the pain. I would tell people who really are going through it that you are loved. You may not know it. It may feel like the furthest thing from your reality, but I can testify, and I've been honored to be a part of so many hurting lives, that you are really loved perfectly by Jesus Christ, our Lord and King. And that if you haven't already, once you relinquish your entire life to him, you will start experiencing that love, and that there's always hope, and to know that there is a purpose and a great calling on your life, that you're designed and made for something great in the midst of your pain. If you can just connect with that, that's what gave me hope in my darkest hour. God met me there, and he'll meet you there.